What's up, YouTube? So, this is going to be a very important video for specifically entrepreneurs on how they can build their personal brand. I'm going to give you some insights on the personal branding game, why I chose to go into that, and why I've been doing it for a long time and I didn't even realize I was doing it. But really, I want to show you how I made $50,000 in 6 months, in literally just 6 months, with my personal brand, and how you can do it too. Because everybody wants to brag about what they do, and honestly, I don't see this as a big accomplishment, but a lot of you will see this as a big accomplishment. And I want to show you how you can do the exact same thing in a very simple way. Right? So, just to show you some receipts, because people want to see receipts. They always want to see receipts when it comes to fitness. They always want to see receipts when it comes to money. They want to see receipts, right? So, I'm going to show you those receipts. These are some of the payments that I've been getting just through one Stripe account. By the way, it's all on one Stripe account. I have like 3 different Stripe accounts, right? Just because there's different businesses that I have but this specifically is for my personal brand itself, right? More receipts, as you can see, just different payments, monthly subscriptions or payment plans, paid in fulls, different payments, right? So that now we've already settled the proof part of everything. So let's get into the actual game itself. Let me move myself over so you can see Mr. Handsome Tate. So personal brand is greater than just a business. See, most people make the mistake of starting a business without an audience to sell their product and services to. That's the craziest thing that I've learned being in this online game. And I actually did the same I made the same mistake when I first started. I wanted to build the business. I wanted to go figure out what the best business model was, not realizing that if I didn't have an audience, I couldn't sell my product or service to anybody unless I use paid ads. And the reality is, if you're just starting out in business, you may not have money for ads. And honestly, ads are they're the least profitable channel right now to be able to generate traffic. Right now, everything is going organic. People are actually paying attention to organic a lot more than they're paying attention to ads, because ads are artificial. Organic is natural. Everybody wants to go the natural route, right? So you're being sold business models by all of these personal brands, right? Agency, e-commerce, trading, paid communities, crypto, everything. You're literally being sold every business model under the sun as being the new big opportunity. While the business influencers selling you this business model are actually participating in the greatest business model of all time. I believe this is the meta of all business models. It literally is. Most effective tactic available. Meta. If you play video games, you know what meta is. For literally all of business. And that is, these people are using their personal brand to fuel their businesses and ultimately their pockets, right? Because it's not just funneling towards their business. It's funneling towards consulting that they can do one-on-one with people. That's very, very high ticket. It's funneling towards any other product that they have. It's funneling towards any other business that they don't even have to market. The fact that people know who they are, if they're associated with anything, it will automatically be profitable, right? So the meta of all of this is building your personal brand. Whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur, because I know a lot of seasoned entrepreneurs that are falling behind because they don't have a personal brand and they can't really run into and build a whole new business because the landscape is changing. It wasn't the same as before. You cannot be anonymous like that anymore, right? Maybe in crypto you can be anonymous if you want to do that. But in reality, when you're building businesses, you're actually doing business with people, and people are now doing business online. So you need a personal brand. You need an online presence so that you can gain trust and you can actually be able to distribute your services using the organic tactics that exist with social media. All right. Any business model works, by the way. Like, any business model works as long as people know that it exists. As long as enough people know that your business exists, aka marketing, right? Any business model is going to work. No entrepreneur with a personal brand is obligated to send out 100 cold DMs a day to get someone interested in their service. None. I don't know of an entrepreneur that has a personal brand that needs to send. I don't need to send out DMs anymore. I might do it every once in a while if I see someone that I really, really want to work with. I don't need to send out DMs. I just need to make videos. That's it. I need to attract people. I don't need to go beg people. I see cold DMs. I used to do this. I literally had a lead gen agency. We were doing, like, when I was leaving, about $35,000 a month. Literally doing this exact thing for other entrepreneurs is literally cold DMing people, sending messages on LinkedIn, sending cold email. I know how that game works. You don't need to do that when you have a personal brand. So you get significantly more inbound leads because you're attracting an audience through content. Content is currency right now. Content is king. So you need to master the art of creating content that people really want to watch, creating really good hooks that people want to click on. My titles do 60 to 70% of the work for me. And my actual video, my retention is over 30, 40%. So I'm doing something right here, right? And people are booking calls every single time because I know what I'm doing when it comes to content creation. You need to understand content creation in the minds of people and how you can actually like get them attracted to what you have. See, these entrepreneurs with a personal brand, they barely even do paid ads anymore. Everything's organic content, especially on YouTube. YouTube is the meta right now for personal branding, by the way. YouTube is the place to be for personal branding because, again, barrier to entry is actually low, but the perceived barrier to entry is high. So a lot of people are just not jumping in. So this is a perfect time for you to do it. And now authenticity is the trend. So you don't need any crazy edits. You literally need to be in front of a camera, know how to speak, know how to articulate your thoughts, which I'm going to show you in this video, and you will build a solid audience, right? With little to no time invested when it comes to actually like recording your content. You can do exactly what I'm doing now, right? So YouTube organic content is the best top of funnel for any business that you could have. It performs way better than ads and it's free, right? Regarding that you don't actually like hire somebody to cut up the content, all of that. If you're just putting out raw content for free, it is free, right? So you're making money for free. Crazy. You can eventually or virtually blow up any business if you know how to create the best content that is engaging, educational, and captivating, right? So what is the goal for a personal brand? The goal for a personal brand is for people that watch you to know you, like you, and trust you. That is it. That is the goal. Forget money, forget all that. That's going to be a byproduct of this. People need to know you, people need to like you, and people need to trust you. You separate yourself from the pack by actually having your face and name on the screen repeatedly and not being some anonymous account running a business, right? You're a person that is trustworthy because you're putting your name on the line. You're putting your image on the line. People see you. People can dox you. People can ruin your reputation if you ruin their lives with your offer, right? So you need to understand that personal branding is the way to gain trust online because people know who you are. You're being seen by everybody, right? You start to develop charisma when you speak and people will like you for who you are and be attracted to literally any service or product you can provide, considering it's actually good, right? People will trust you because, you know, you're putting yourself out there in the open. Your reputation's on the line. So they know you're literally not going anywhere. You're not going to take their money and run off because literally they can find you on the internet and they can tell everybody else about you. So how this works for me, what are the steps I took to build a profitable personal brand, especially on YouTube? I've done this on YouTube and I've done this on Instagram, right? And I also want to explain this. You're probably sitting here and you're saying, well, your personal brand is this and you're teaching other people how to make personal brands. Why would you do that? Why can't you just keep why can't you keep making money with your personal brand? Well, my personal brand was selling fitness at a certain point in time. And I did really well with it. As you can see, that Stripe account was strictly for fitness services, right? So I did really well with that. But the reason why I pivoted into getting into teaching people how to build personal brands, it's almost like a looping effect. It's almost like I'm helping other people build their brands that will then help other people with whatever service or product that they provide. That's what I truly like to do, is help people build businesses in a different way. And the personal brand was something that stuck out to me because the meta of my entire business career has been my personal brand. I built my lead gen agency because of my personal brand. My co-founders with my lead gen agency both had personal brands. That's why we got so many leads without spending. We spent zero money on ads and scaled to $35K a month in 3 months. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. My tech business, all from a personal brand. People saw me online. I was getting investors who were interested because of my content on Twitter. Crazy. My fitness business, my content on Instagram, my content on YouTube. My personal brand has literally allowed for me to create any business. And now I'm in the business of helping other people build personal brands. See, it's not the scam that you see online is coaches teaching coaches how to be coaches to coach other coaches. Right? That's the quote unquote scam, but it's a meta, right? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You teach a coach how to become a better coach. He then does whatever he does, and then he realizes, wait, I can teach other coaches as well. And then people just start teaching other people about the same thing. The same is going to happen with personal branding. But I'm at the forefront of this right now, right? I'm being completely honest with you guys. I'm telling you guys my intentions. I'm telling you guys what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help you build your personal brand to actually help you make a business that you can make money in. I don't care about any other business besides my tech business, my tech startup that I have in cybersecurity, and my personal brand. I don't care about doing anything else like fitness business. I stopped doing that because I'm not passionate about that. Right? I'm just not. I'm passionate about motivating people and getting jacked through video, through content, but not through an actual coaching business. But I know I can help people with this. So these are the steps that I took. I wanted to just put this out there for you just so you can understand. Right? I want to be very transparent with y'all. So these are the steps I took. The first thing you have to understand when actually building a personal brand, building a YouTube channel, whatever, literally any platform, but let's stick with YouTube. You need to have a big vision and a big mission, right? Or a big vision / mission. So how do you want to change the world? But more importantly, how do you want to transform your audience? What does that look like? See, with every personal brand, the mission is the main focus, not you. You're always going for your mission. And I've said this in other videos. Your mission, especially even as a man, is everything, right? So you need to understand that. It's not about you, it's about the mission. And the mission is to help other people, right? So that mission can be something that people are familiar with or brand new, sometimes outlandish concept that people are, you're getting people enlightened about. It's kind of like, think about like Elon Musk telling people that they can go fly to the moon with his rockets. Like that's his big mission. That's his big vision to colonize Mars, right? They're looking at Elon Musk. We're looking at Alex Hormozy. What's his big mission and vision? It's to help everybody be able to start a business, scale a business, and make multi-million dollars a year forever, right? That's his big mission, I believe, is to basically help people become better entrepreneurs. Charlie Morgan, the same mission, right? Andrew Tate, to help men become the best versions of themselves. Whether you like him or not, that is his mission, right? My mission, to help really men, but entrepreneurs become the best versions of themselves. Really, it's help men become the best versions of themselves as well, right? So you need to find a peak ascension of your audience. That's what that mission is. You need to figure that out for yourself. Second is a unique mechanism. Every single personal brand has a unique mechanism that works for them, right? So what you're going to show people is how to use that unique mechanism to ascend them to that transformative state that they have, right? AKA help them achieve the big mission for themselves. It can be a method that people know. It can be a method that's brand new that nobody knows. But the reality is there are no new mechanisms anymore. Personal brands just dress it up with fancy words and just get you excited to try something new, the new business opportunity, right? Now, don't get me wrong. It works and it gets people results. I'm not sitting here saying it's a scam. It's not, right? They're still giving you the information that actually gets you the results. You just have to understand the game that's being played to persuade you to adopt a mechanism. There's nothing wrong with that, right? We look at someone like Dan Koe, one of my favorite creators that I watch, right? And I've watched him for years. And the big thing that he does is his big mission is to help people with freedom in life and to build their own business, a one-person business, and work 2 to 3 hours a day, right? That's his big mission. His mechanism is writing. His unique mechanism is literally writing. It can be as simple as that. It can be as simple as writing, but he'll dress it up, right? Digital economics. He'll call it something different, digital mastery. He'll say something, right, that gets you to be excited about it, that wraps it up. It's not just boring old writing, right? You're digitizing your mind. You're productizing your mind, which is essentially writing, right? Writing ebooks, writing copy, right? Writing whatever, writing newsletters. Like it's all wrapped up in this unique way of putting it that makes it feel new, right? That's what you have to think about, the unique mechanism. Now, I can also tell you, unique mechanism for me. So my big mission is to help men become the best version of themselves, right? My unique mechanism is essentially personal branding, what I like to call multi-dimensional personal branding. See how I use the twist there to make the mechanism sound a little bit better, but it's the same thing, personal branding. There's a whole system, framework that you can build around your own unique mechanism. That is what you're going to sell as coaching or product services, which again, we're going to talk about that later when it comes to monetization. But next, let's talk about creating content, right? So the least amount of friction on creating your content, the better. So brainstorm 3 content pillars that relate to your mission, right? I can actually tell you guys what my 3 content pillars are so you can have some inspiration and ideas. So I have my notebook right here. So masculine self-improvement is number 1, right? That's my first content pillar. Number 2, become a multidimensional entrepreneur. That's my second pillar. My third pillar is brand money mastery, right? So those are my 3 pillars that I'm going to be talking about from now moving forward in every video. You're basically going to focus each video on one content pillar to keep your thoughts organized, and always structure your videos in this specific way right here that I'm about to tell you. Every video needs to start with a big idea that you say. It could be a big idea that falls within that mission that you're looking to help people ascend to. Then you follow that up with a story. And the big idea is the hook, right? It's the thing that catches people's attention, the statement that catches people's attention. It typically is controversial. It makes people think very differently from how they originally do. The second is the story, right? The second is the story. What is your story? What story relates you to that big idea? How have you experienced that big idea? Then, after the story, you introduce your unique mechanism. What is that unique mechanism, right? For me, it's personal branding. I'm going to basically tie personal branding into that big idea and how it can actually help with that big idea. It can help with that story, how it helped me with that story. Then, after the unique mechanism, you give a logic-based argument. Everybody will pay attention to something that's outlandish, but you want to make sure that you have a logic-based argument to back it up so that it's legitimate and you're just not talking crazy, right? You're not talking out of the sky. Then you wrap up, right, with your call to action, whatever that looks like. That should be the format of your videos. This is a very basic explanation. I go in depth with my coaching program, which you'll see later on. Like, I literally do this in depth with everybody that I'm working with right now. So this is just a high-level summary for you to actually get started on this yourself. Then you need to build your offer. See, you should either start by selling coaching, info products, courses, and workbooks, or one-off paid consultations. Here's the reality with that. A lot of people believe that coaching is, oh, this person is doing coaching, or this person is doing courses. That's a scam. That's this. Literally, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me why people think that other people who have amassed knowledge, who've been able to curate knowledge on the internet in a way that is distillable to be able to give to other people and have them achieve a result, is scammy. It's not, right? Yes, there are people who do give really no advice. Like, if somebody just sold you a digital product and there was nothing written in it, yes, that's a scam, right? But if they're genuinely like giving you information and you feel like that information is lackluster, you just didn't believe in yourself to go get the information yourself. Or you just couldn't go get that information yourself and synthesize it in a way that you could actually utilize it to get results. You think it's just too simple, right? Everything is simple, but how do you apply it? That's the difference. That's what I had to learn, because I hired somebody. I bought coaching from somebody, and I was like, man, this is so simple. And I was like, wait, but if it's so simple, why wasn't I doing this before? Why wasn't I actually getting results, right? So that's just caveat, right? So you must identify the result you want the customer to achieve for your coaching offer. Now, the reality is your content may have some broad topics that you talk about, but your offer needs to be niche. You can go broad with content, go niche with offer, right? The reason why is because if you go into so many different types of offers, if you go into so many different types of benefits or different types of pain points within one offer, you're going to confuse someone and they're not going to believe that that thing's going to work for them. I made this mistake early on, especially with YouTube, right? I was trying to build this personal success coaching offer where I help you with your relationships. You guys remember this, right? It was I'm going to remember, spiritually jacked or physically jacked, mentally jacked, spiritually jacked, financially jacked, socially jacked. Those were the 5, right? And I literally tried to build a coaching program around that. And I think one person wanted to do it. And then I realized, I was like, no, this isn't going to work. This is literally impossible to literally nail this for everybody. I'd have to be God, and that's not who I am. So I'm not going to push that offer out. So I wanted to niche down. That's why I niched down on fitness at first. And then I realized I don't really like fitness coaching. So I niched down to personal branding, which is where I'm at right now, right? Because I really enjoy personal branding and I know how to actually grow on YouTube, and I know how to help other people grow on YouTube and make money. So I niche down on that. Then you need to identify who that customer is that you want to talk to. Be specific as possible, right? I want to target male entrepreneurs who want to become digital creators online and make money off of their personal brand. That's who I want to target. It's very specific. I'm not talking about all entrepreneurs, because the reality is once you target that specific customer, you can speak to one person. Versus when you speak to everybody, you speak to nobody. When you speak to one person, you have the potential to speak to everybody, right? So you have to understand that. Then you need to identify how the customer struggles to get that result, right? How do they struggle to get that result? The offer needs to solve the pain point. It needs to evoke transformation in the person, right? Now, if you don't need to offer any of these types of services like coaching, info products, and one-off paid consultations at all. But if you have a back-end business, funnel the traffic that you're getting from the personal brand to that back-end business created outside of your personal brand. It still works regardless, right? If you're an entrepreneur that maybe has a physical business, you can still build a personal brand and funnel traffic, funnel notoriety to that any business that you have, right? Literally any business that you have will pop. So yes, building that is essentially the framework of building your offer. So once you've built this offer, you want to start booking calls, right? You want to start booking calls. So you should always be speaking to your audience privately to figure out their needs and how you can make your offer better. You've already built this offer up. There's a whole offer framework that I have that I teach a lot of my clients that how they can actually build their own offers that works every time that I use for myself, right? That, again, you can get on a call with me, ironically, right? We can nail that down. But anyway, you need to be offering free discovery calls, much like what I'm going to do at the end of this video, that you have on your calendar that people can book that will lead you to getting new clients as well along the way. And you can successfully pitch the offer that they need. If you can successfully pitch that offer, you will get a client, right? But at the very least, you'll have more insights on what your audience needs, what they're looking for, and how you can service them. So these calls are very important, whether you make money on them or not. You still get insights, right? So these calls will help you structure your offer early on and build out, and solve your audience's exact pain point. They will tell you pretty much what you need to do, what they want, and what they don't want. Because sometimes too many people try to go sell these paid communities and info products and have this entire elaborate build out before they've even talked to their audience and see exactly what they want to buy. They just want to sell anything that they want to sell that seems cool. Oh, I want to be the next Andrew Tate, so I'm gonna sell a replica of the real world, not even understanding that Hustlers University or the real world has multiple different teachers and coaches in that ecosystem. You are one person and you want to build something that has nothing to do with what that other person has built. You need to figure out what your audience wants. And typically your audience wants to solve one specific problem from you. That is why they are following you, for who you are, your personality, and how they connect with you, and also a specific problem that you can solve for them, right? If you could solve everything, you'd be God. Nobody internally believes that you can solve all of their problems. And if they do, they're weird, right? So you have to understand that. Number 5, collect the money for the value that you're giving, right? Collect the money you are getting for your value. There we go. You should be converting your audience on a regular basis to working with you. Once you start getting moving and you start having things going and you nail down your offer, you nail down the target audience, you know what you're doing, it should be on autopilot, right? This is because you're providing immense value to them and actually helping them improve their lives in one way, shape, or form. You are not a scammer. You are not somebody who's out here just grifting. You're actually providing a service that is actually helping a specific person's part of their life, right? So with every new client you get, you should be making your coaching program or product better as you realize what is working for them and what is not working for them. The value ladder for online personal brands is this. And this is the meta, right? You always want to start off with coaching because you get the most money in coaching early. So you start to get cash flow. Then you want to take that entire curriculum that you've had for the coaching and turn it into an info product or course. And you're probably like, well, if I turn it into an info product, it's going to be a lot cheaper and people won't want the coaching. No, the reality is people want coaching for implementation. People want products or info products, courses for understanding, for information, right? So info product is information that people buy that's generic, that doesn't necessarily suit them specifically. It suits their target, their actual description as a target customer, but not their actual need, not their specific case. The coaching is where you implement the fundamentals that you have in this course to actually do that. So if somebody buys your info product, you can always upsell them to coaching because they don't necessarily know how to implement the things that are in that course typically, right? Then after the info product, you want to build a paid community that revolves around that info product or it revolves around your coaching, right? This is going to be a lower tier, right? So let's say your coaching was $3,000 to $5,000, right? and your info product was $1,000, or maybe it was $500 for this big course that's going to help people, right? Or even $200. Your paid community would be like $50, $100, $200, whatever that looks like, $500 even, depending on what the value is you're providing. Then the last step, which most people don't even really get to, but some really do, is either building a physical product. You see Iman Ghazi doing that with his energy drink, or whatever, or software as a service. Right, Iman Ghazi also did that as well. So software as a service is building some sort of like a software or like an app that people can use that solves their problem. Because you've really went down that value ladder, you understand really exactly what your customer needs and how you can solve that problem on repeat. That's the goal. So you can build software that can do it for you and divorce your time with money, right? Because coaching takes the most time for money. Info product takes a step less, right? You build the product, you sell it as many times as you want. Paid community actually does take some time as well, because you have to engage with people until you put parameters in place, VAs and whatnot. And then the physical product, software, service sells itself, you're good, right? So in short, if you want to make money in this new digital era of personal brands and online entrepreneurship, you need to start building out your personal brand. I would love to help each and every one of you guys individually on here for your specific situation, but that literally would not be feasible. I could not do that, right? So this is why I'm taking another 5 entrepreneurs. I have 5 more spots left. I've literally gotten 5 this past week that are looking to build out their personal brands and monetize it to 10K a month in 6 months or less. I actually want to aim for way more than that in terms of money. And also, you're going to get an audience, right? You're going to get subscribers. I'm going to teach you how to create really, really good content, viral content that actually works. I have a method that works that I've done multiple times on this platform, right? And I will coach you one-on-one on how to build an audience quickly, monetize your audience outside of just the YouTube AdSense model that beginners like to think about. I get paid AdSense, by the way, and I'll be transparent. I get paid like $1,500 a month off of AdSense. And honestly, it's just a bonus. This month is probably going to be less because my views drop, because I'm making a lot more niche videos such as this, right? But I'm making more money because I have an offer on the back end that I'm actually helping people achieve results. So that's that, right? And, the whole thing is for you to play the game that the most successful entrepreneurs of our time are playing and winning in real time. They're literally doing this right now. I'm literally doing this right now, and I'm trying to help you do the same. Right? So link is in the description for a free strategy call to see if you're a good fit for working with me. This is not going to just be a call, a consultation. This is going to literally be a call where we break down where you're currently at, what you need, and if it makes sense for me to work with you. I want to make that very specific, right? So if you genuinely want to work with me one-on-one and you're serious about about changing your personal brand and making it something that is monetizable and actually making money for yourself for once, and not your job or not just in your business, and you feel like you're stuck in your business, you can't go do this other thing, this is for you, right? 5 more spots left. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this was very informative. I hope that you learned something new from this. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend who needs to build their personal brand. Conquer the world, conquer your life, conquer yourself. I will catch you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.